Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes
Hello, welcome to
cry.
Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe, as usual. Lizzy is very busy this week and will not be joining us. Instead, I've stolen her father.
Hi, I'm her father.
Yeah, and his name is Sal.
Yes, my name is Sal.
And this week, we have Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales.
Yay.
It came out October 1st. And what's your spoiler-free review, Sal?
I, as a child of the 80s, had got a lot of enjoyment out of this particular, like Lego Star Wars humor in general, or maybe just Lego humor, is like well done and fun. I think like from Freemakers on, they've been pretty like nonstop. And the stuff before that was pretty funny too. But I think like since the Freemakers, it's taken itself not like seriously, but it has fun with Star Wars, but also like it like tries to live in that like canon adjacent universe. So it's like really, really cool. And there are hilarious moments. And if you like the holiday special, you'll probably like this one. All Lego Star Wars kind of holds up no matter what, because it is fun.
Agreed.
That's my spoiler free.
Yeah, I think I have to just, double up on a lot of that. It was a lot of fun. The same thing, holiday special. It had similar vibes, but obviously Halloween instead of like Christmassy. It has Poe in it. We love Poe.
Mhm.
So now Finn needs the special because Ray got the holiday special.
That's fair. Although I mean, okay. Spoilers. Poe gets another costume, another holiday costume. Because in the holiday special, he gets like a holiday sweater.
Yes. And
So
now he
like,
has a little skeleton.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm trying to think of a holiday for Finn.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. Yeah. Or like Earth Day. Be naturey. You can hang out with Ewoks.
I actually, if you listen to the latest episode of the Rogue Rebels podcast, me and Liz got to interview the writer and director of this episode. And so like we were kind of pitching, I was like, man, you guys like you need to give us one a year. So next year hit us with, Arbor Day or Easter or
Valentine's Day.
Leaf Day or whatever the heck. There's always like weird days. Like official like school supply day or something. So that seems really, really cool. And if you want to hear that little 15-minute interview, listen to that episode.
Yeah, that's great. I think we can get into spoilers now.
Yes.
So this one was like, it was different from the holiday special because the holiday special is basically just like one story, where this one was like, it had that one story, but like also they were telling stories within the story.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really neat. I really like those little vignettes that they show.
It was almost like this is basically like what is it like Vader's Castle, the Star Wars Adventures comics, like where they're trapped on Vader's castle and they're telling stories. It was so similar to this. Except this is Lego and like funnier. But Ivane is like the coolest, like for anybody who was like, hey, it's that like one guy from Rogue One. He also shows up in some of those IDW comics. So that was fun for me.
Yeah. I love the like going back to Vader's castle because it's like probably one of the greater Halloween things you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And then telling all these little stories jumping around.
Yeah. I mean, we can like double up on holidays. So like if they end up doing another one, we can go to, should have thought about it before. Let's go to Malachor for one. And we'll go to like,
or
that's the only one I had.
Dathomir.
Moraband, Dathomir. Really cool places. Old busted up Zepho temples.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There's many things. Or like Geonosis. In the caverns.
That's fair. Zombies.
Yeah. We love zombies.
Zombie Geonosians.
So I guess should we talk about like the overall story or like each of the vignettes first?
I don't care. I love chaos. So I'm just gonna say all kinds of stuff. The first story is The Lost Boy,
Yes.
and it is off of one of my favorite movies, The Lost Boys. And it was so great. And they even hit us with like an 80s montage in which had a shirtless Cluehorn player, which was wonderful because if you've seen The Lost Boys, like one of the most memorable parts of that movie, especially for me, is they're like go to a concert and there's like a dude like who's all buff and oiled up, shirtless, playing a saxophone, and he's like, I still believe, and like that's what it was. Except it's this like Cluehorn playing Biff
Yeah.
that's all buff and shirtless, and then Ben is like, yeah, play that Cluehorn, and it's really funny.
Yeah, that one was so funny. And it has the Knights of Ren is essentially like a motorcycle gang.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting because I think we think like, oh, Knights of Ren, like the cool like force guys, and in this they're like, no, Legos like just no, they're just dudes.
Did you read The Rise of Kylo Ren?
I have not gotten.
Okay, so the character of Ren is introduced in that comic series. So it's also really cool to see like a character sort of make that jump, even though it's like a Lego jump. It's still really cool to see somebody come off the page like that. So I was excited for that. And his character is similar. Like that's kind of what they are. I don't want to say motorcycle gang, but they're very much like, hey, we just like do chaos and like mess with people. And like that's what we do. That's our club. You know, to lead the Ren, you have to follow this and bring death and destruction. Um, so like it's not the same. Like it's very different from the Lego thing, but it still was really, really the character was very similar. Like in the comic, he's very like nonchalant. Like at one point, they're fighting Luke Skywalker, and they can't like beat him, so they sort of like leave, and they're just like, "Whatever, old man," and then they like leave. And like the way that Ren was portrayed, like by Christian Slater, who, if you are of my age, you also know that like that was like the '80s dude, and the fact that they got the '80s dude to come do the '80s guy in the '80s montage, that was really, really cool. And some of the shots are like straight out of Lost Boys, like when they're hanging on the like they in the Lost Boys, they're hanging underneath a train. So when the train comes, it like makes them fall, and like the shot is the same when they're falling into the mist. You know, like everything was like just straight up out of the movie, which was really, really fun for me. Except they're like, come on, Solo, you know, come on, Ben. But like in the Lost Boys, it's like, come on, Michael, you know, you get to stay up all night. Like it's like the same speeches. Like they did a really good job with the writing. For that one in particular. And I guess I'm sure they did it for all of them, but I noticed on that one because I know that movie so well.
Yeah, I've actually not seen that movie, but now I really want to. I'm sorry. I know.
It has a great soundtrack. It has a guy playing saxophone who's like super buff. It has Kiefer Sutherland is like the lead. Kiefer Sutherland is the Ren of that motorcycle gang. And it has like these two little kids that read comics and want to hunt vampires.
Nice.
So yeah, you totally should watch that and then come and talk about, and then watch this again and see how funny it is after you've seen The Lost Boys.
I will have to do that.
Although you're gonna go backwards, you're gonna look at the saxophone guy and be like, it's that Biff, ha ha. It's gonna be funny.
Exactly.
Good times.
Yeah, this one was really fun. The Lost Boy.
Like you could probably already tell, but this is my favorite one.
Yeah, I got that. But it was really cool. It was a nice little like, oh, it's Kylo Ren. This is how he became Kylo Ren. But like,
right.
You know.
And even like the title cards, like the title card is literally the title card from the movie.
Yeah.
With an S removed. Pretty much like they do the same font and everything. And then they do that for each of the stories. The second one is the Dueling Monstrosities, and the third one is the Wookiee's Paw.
Yes.
The third one is Twilight Zone. Do you know what the second one is?
My favorite. I don't know what the second one is.
I don't know what it's spoofing because I don't recognize the title card. Like the other ones I got, and I'm still wondering what was the second.
Let's see what Google has to say about this.
Like what was the title card a spoof off of?
Yeah.
You know, I was curious about that.
Yeah, well, if you're listening to this and you know, let us know.
Yes, tell us.
Because I'm
We need answers.
because I didn't make the connection with the first one because I know that movie. And then I figured the third one was the Twilight Zone, but I didn't think it was a pattern. I didn't recognize like the first one, you know?
Right.
So I didn't get it. I was just like, oh, Twilight Zone in this one. That's cool.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I like that Vane also makes Vader little back to baths.
Yes.
We kind of skipped over the return of Graballa the Hutt.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do like the stories, like the little
Okay.
ones, and then like the overall plot. I think that's where we're going. Because we skipped over a lot to get to the Lost Boys.
Okay. Fair. Fine.
Well, that's
cannot-
okay.
All I can find is like the Lost Boy and the Lost Boys.
Mm.
Not finding anything about the dueling monstrosities.
Man, I don't know what it is.
It's not.
Oh well. Well, the second one was dueling monstrosities.
But you know what? This is true, and I'm so excited to have time for myself.
Yes. So dueling monstrosities. It's like at first it starts with like a little retelling of Maul
Mhm.
and like his like getting his legs back, and it's very funny. I found it very amusing when they were trying on all the different
Yeah.
legs.
I like that he got like probe droid. He got like a BB hate ball.
Yeah. He
So
got
that was good.
it was very, very simple humor, but it appealed to me immensely.
Yes. Lego Mall falling down is one of the funniest things in these shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Um,
And like there were a lot of good moments of Lego Mall just being funny because like we're so used to his like seriousness and like a Lady Tano, but then it's like funny when he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, my lord, like and he like breaks down and they like have arguments or he's cracking jokes.
yeah, we're like
Yeah.
Lego Palpatine, not just in this, but in everything, like Freemakers, all
Yeah.
of it. Lego Palpatine's just great. All the
Yeah.
time. So
He's
funny.
always like 1,000,000% over the top, super energetic,
It is
good
hilarious.
times.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Never-
And like he changed, I think it was this one. He changed like in a lot of the shows he's like zappity zappity and he just does his lightning, but this one he was like pushity and he like pushed him off the building. And I was like, for real, okay,
Never get
good
that.
times, Sidious.
Yeah, so then there's also in this one General Grievous.
Mhm.
We get a little story of like how General Grievous comes into being, essentially. And
And his doctor came back like from that episode of the
Oh.
layer of Grievous from Clone Wars,
yeah.
his droid,
Yeah,
so that was cool to see him back again. And they
Yeah.
said Grievous's real name.
they did.
I don't know if we know, I don't know what that's from,
There's no way.
like, or if it's just something they brought over from Legends, because I know
Might be Legends.
they've said stuff in Legends before, but since then they haven't said anything about his.
Yeah.
I don't
So I
think.
know, and it's like this story is something that is from Legends, but, like, it seems like they always
It was really cool.
like they reference it like in Lair of Grievous and then also in Myths and Fables.
Right.
But like we haven't gotten that like exact story yet.
Right.
So
And they, yeah,
not-
we just haven't gotten like the details.
The next question was the
You
Yeah.
know? Like even in Lair of Grievous, like we're sort of told the story through statues,
yeah.
and it's like not really specific, but it's like, okay, hey, look, metal arms. Hey, look, now metal legs. Oh, now he's all metal. Good story. I
Yeah.
get it.
It might be in a book somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah. I just haven't seen it in a canon book, at least that I can remember.
Not a canon one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that little story, it's Palpatine has them looking for like a special saber thing.
Yeah, like a legendary Sith saber that like
Yeah.
makes its wielder go mad.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want that, to be honest, but
I mean, to be fair, he collects a lot of stuff he doesn't use.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, no.
So
There it is.
what's it? So he sends Grievous out to get it, and then Maul shows up. He's like, "I'm not dead."
Hmm.
So he
And I
says,
have lots of legs.
yeah. So then Maul goes to try and get it too, to like prove himself to Palpatine. I don't think Palpatine even tells him to go get it, really. Maul
Yeah,
just,
not really.
I'll go get it.
Mhm.
I'll get it for you. So they both find it, Maul and Grievous, and they end up fighting over it. a lot. And like, it goes back and forth and like drives them mad whenever they hold it. And their eyes go red.
I'm just gonna go over here. 'Cause
Yes.
You're rapping a lot now. At least on Instagram, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
Coolness. It's fun, it's funny, and the fight is really, really good. And then like, the fact that you can like cut Maul's legs off and cut Grievous's arms off, and like it's totally
That's
fine.
right. They keep like literally cutting each other apart, and they're just
Because,
both back together.
They're both like at least half robot.
Yeah, it was really funny. And then I think Maul wins and brings it back to Sidious, and then Maul's like, well, I have the power now. Like, why don't I just kill you? Because he has the saber to make him crazy. And then the saber breaks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he doesn't get to do that.
And then he gets pushed off the ledge by Sidious.
Pushy push.
Yes. Pushity, pushity.
And then I think that's the end of that saber, really.
I mean, not the whole time.
Yeah, I mean it's short. They're all short and cute. But yeah, the dueling stuff is fun. And there's like one shot where it's like him coming up the mountain, Grievous, and he's like fighting all these like creatures, and it's like a cool little combo.
It was really cool.
I mean, it's Lego action, so
I know, made me want to see that in like Clone Wars animation though. Like, look really cool. Just with Legos, how much cooler would it look?
Yeah.
Not Lego,
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. Then the third story was my favorite, the Wookiee's Paw.
Mm-hmm.
Who brought those?
Sorry. I'm stuck here. I'm so sorry. And so the Wookiee's Paw, so I have an idea. One second. Let's try this. I locked myself in the mailroom.
Okay. So far, so good.
Good. So the Wookiee's Paw was my personal favorite. Probably because it was the one, like you said, it was a Twilight Zone reference. So that was the one like I actually got because I've seen the Twilight Zone. I haven't seen the other things. But it's basically like Luke he has a Wookiee's paw that he gets. It's sort of like a rabbit's foot. And he wishes on it and he gets whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's like the premise.
Yeah, it's like I think the episode is like the monkey's paw or whatever, the Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
It's like spoofing.
Right.
But it's great because we get evil Luke. Or not evil Luke, just like jerk face Luke.
Yeah. Well, he wishes to like be a pilot, so he gets to like join the Imperial Academy. And it like just he basically wishes himself right up the chain of command to becoming essentially like Darth Vader's apprentice.
Yeah. But it's like so funny because like he makes the little like he's a stormtrooper at one point and he's like, man, this is kind of whack. Like, man, I wish I was a pilot. I wanted to be a pilot. And then like the guy walks, like Tarkin walks by with the guy and he's like, what do we do with this extra pilot suit? Give it to him. And he's like, I'm a pilot. Like, so it was really funny.
Yeah, and then Luke turns evil, and then we see like Leia basically being Luke flying the X-Wing to destroy the Death Star.
She's like red
Obi-Wan,
leader.
Obi-Wan is also flying.
Yeah.
And it was great. It reminded me, I don't know if you've been watching it. I've been watching Marvel's What If.
Yeah.
It's finished this week, and it was really good. And that's like basically this like, oh, this is basically like a Star Wars What If.
Yeah, it very much felt like Star Wars What If, like just retellings of different things.
Yeah. It was really good. I love this one so much. I really like the scene where Vader's like teaching him how to force choke, and they just have the lineup of officers.
Of officers. And like when they do the little jump over the chasm and he gives him a kiss and he's like, for Luke. That was really good too.
It was so funny.
Yeah. Vader's on his back flip while he's like running through the Death Star on his back, doing backflips and stuff. It's like training him like Yoda.
Yeah. But then like the real kicker is like Luke has I forget what he called it. He called it something really stupid, but it was like his move that he did as a star pilot. And then he does that move to try to stop Leia and ends up still Luke blows up the Death Star.
Yeah. Like Leia shoots the wing and it turns his ship around and he makes the shot.
Yeah.
Oh no, because his wish when he's like, instead of wishing to like beat the rebels, he wishes like, I wish I was the most famous pilot in the galaxy or something like that. And he's like, you're going to be the most famous pilot in the galaxy for blowing the Death Star up. And he's like, no. But it's like, I think there's a pause. He's like, you're gonna be the most famous pilot in the galaxy. Yeah, for blowing up the Death Star, you fool. No. So it was good. It was cute.
It was really funny. And now I really want Star Wars What If.
I mean, yeah, as long as Lego keeps giving us this stuff, we kind of got it.
Right?
I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? If you want to go even further down that road, we'll watch Visions. That could all be Star Wars What If.
True.
Although it won't be like, none of the Visions is like, what if Luke did this other, because it's just like, what if there was just random other things that happened in Star Wars that would like, so I guess it kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of the what if scenario. So never mind. Hey, watch Visions anyway. It's still good.
Yeah, watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're talking about the main story because like these little stories are just told by Vinay, and they're sort of like little life lessons.
But
they're like not good life lessons.
But they're all from like a thing. Like he like the first one when he tells him about Ren, he like gives him the helmet and he's like, this is the helmet that like turned him into Kylo Ren. Like this is, and then the second one is he brings he finds the saber that Grievous and Maul are fighting over, and the saber wields you, gives you all the power, and then the other one is the holocron, I think. And he's like, this holocron will make your wishes come true, kind of like a Wookiee's paw. Like, and that's how they sort of like get all the stories out, but it's all to like lessons.
Yeah.
And it's like really, really funny. But the most important thing is Grabala bought Vader's castle to make it into a hotel.
And I want to go to that hotel.
Yes. It's like the first all-inclusive Sith resort.
Yeah.
Or something. It's really, really funny. And Poe just happens to crash there.
Yeah, Poe crashes there. Because he's fighting some TIE fighters. Who have not yet heard the First Order has been destroyed.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for them. He crashes on Mustafar. And he crashes like in the like tree area where like Kylo was on Mustafar in 9. And then goes over to the castle.
Man, he could have run into the Eye of Webbish Bog.
Yeah.
Would have been cool.
But he sees Grabala. They're trying to put together the hotel. And
Grabala wants him to make an ad.
Basically, first Grabala doesn't know who he is. And he's like, get out of here, loser. And they realize it's Poe Dameron, famous pilot. Do you want to be my spokesperson? Celebrity
spokesperson.
Yeah.
And then like Vinay keeps coming and scaring them. And he's like, ah. And he's like, he came with the castle. So I just find that funny.
He has a droid named NIL8.
That's really good.
And I didn't get it until at the end when they say it. I was like, oh, like how Dean is like, oh, annihilate. I was like, that was me at the same time. Like, oh, I get it. That's really good though.
Really good.
I love it.
So they're like going around the castle doing the tour while Vinay's like, oh, I have a little story about this. And they keep acquiring these little pieces. And then like at the end, like Vinay is like, aha, he unlocked the holocron. Like now I can, like the kid, what's his name? Dean? The kid who's like a mechanic that Grabala hired is the one who unlocked the holocron. So now once the holocron gets unlocked, like Vinay uses it to power this like cyber Lego suit.
Yeah. And like while he's putting it together, they're like, oh, like they're like trying to apply the lessons from the stories. Like, oh, the first one was like, oh, like you need to make decisions or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like he was like small and scared, so he hid behind his helmet, and then
my Wi-Fi cut out. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
Nope. Interesting.
Okay. Well, it says we're still recording. So let's try to keep going.
I don't know. I forgot where we were.
You cut off when you started explaining the lessons from all the stories. That's when it cut for me.
Oh, so yeah, like the helmet is like, oh, he was like a small scared boy who wanted to like, get away from it all or something like that. And then the sword like gave him all the power, and the holocron so that he can make his wishes come true. And it like turns him into this funny, cool, big Lego suit guy with a helmet and the saber and the holocron plugged into it. And then they also raise like battle droids that are zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's really awesome.
They were great. They were
Yes.
like gray and had like glowing red eyes, and they
Yeah.
were lumbering along like zombies.
And they were all like, Roger, Roger,
Yeah.
Roger. It was really awesome. So like then they're like, what do we do? How do we like it? And they get the holocron away from him. And when the holocron, like his suit kind of starts falling apart, so he's like fighting to keep it together long enough to get the holocron back so he can kill everybody. And he doesn't. They beat him with something. Oh, like the little guy, the
Jumping in the lava, essentially.
yeah, pretty much. But the guy, Dean fixes the X-Wing, comes back and is able to like pilot it and shoot him a little bit. And then they're kind of having a face off because he's like holding Poe over the
right.
lava.
Well, didn't Poe like climb in an ATTE and was like fighting him with that?
Yeah, he had like an ATST or something like that, and then like they fought an ATAT.
Yeah.
And then something else.
Oh,
Yes, there was a lot of fighting.
It was a big battle.
Yes, outside the Vader's castle.
Yeah, but they
and Graballa and Ram and Bash were along for the ride.
Yeah, but they pushed him into the lava.
Mm-hmm. No, he like jumps.
He
like
jumped.
he throws the holocron and he drops Poe and he goes to try to catch the holocron and like falls in the lava.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's like the lesson of like, be careful what you wish for, Vinay. Look at you all burned it
like
up.
from the Wookiee's paw.
Mm-hmm. And then like BB-8 catches Poe with his little string.
Yes. And then, well, Gravala is very upset because all his decorations he put up for the hotel were destroyed.
Yes.
And Poe is like, that sucks. And
Gotta go.
Yeah, they leave. Oh, and also Poe, this is when Poe gets his skeleton stormtrooper armor. When
they're like hiding.
Yeah. And then they escape, and Poe says to Dean, like, oh, we could use pilots. Also, my friend Ray knows about this Force stuff. You should probably talk to her too.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then everything's great, except we'll have to, the very end. Who pops out of the lava?
Funny.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's like Nihilate like is like crawling out of the lava and he's like, I failed you, master. I'm sorry. But like Vinay's hand comes out, like his little Lego hand comes out of the lava. They said it was like a lot like Carrie. Like the end of Carrie is her hand comes out of the grave. You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was God, what movie? Like the very first Friday the 13th, the girl's leaning over on the boat and then he pops out of the water. So that's what like I took for it. But it's really cool that they stuck a lot of that stuff in there.
It's so fun. Yeah, this is great. I hope Lego does, like you said, one a year, just more like this. Fun things.
We're off to a good start.
Holidays. It could just be anything.
Yeah. Lego special.
Yeah. But it was really good. I liked it a lot. It was a fun time.
I don't know if you did this or not, but check out the like Star Wars Kids channel, I think, because they released like 5 little like random Halloween themed shorts.
Like separate from the
it's like has nothing to do. They're Lego. It's like Lego Star Wars things, but they're like 5 little, 1 minute long little things. And like there's one with Mando and Yoda, Grogu. There's one with that's the only one I remember, but I watched them.
I need to watch them.
They were cute.
Those are so cute. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Thank you.
The Mando Grogu one is really cute.
Yeah.
As it should.
Of course it is. It is Grogu.
Yeah, that's unfair. It's unfair to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about it pretty thoroughly. It was a good special. Super fun.
If you would like to hear,
I was on desk duty.
Oh yeah.
People were loud. I could not leave the desk.
That's the job.
We're coming to the desk, so yeah. I apologize.
Yeah, that happens.
Disruption.
But this is good. This works.
Yeah. Left in the mailroom. Plugs?
Check us out at theroguerebels.com. Hit us up on Instagram and TikTok at The Rogue Rebels. We're on Twitch. We are Rogue Rebels. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Podbeans. No, we're not on SoundCloud. iTunes. Pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts, except for SoundCloud.
Apologies.
Pretty sure we're not on SoundCloud.
I did not know you were not on SoundCloud.
We have a Facebook page. Go like it. And we are on Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam. If you listen to the newest episode, we also discuss Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales. And like I said, we have an interview with the writer and director. and it's really, really cool. And next week I am dropping an episode. If you're into the High Republic, we're going to talk Out of the Shadows with special guest Emily Lynn from the Canto Bight Dispatch.
But
So yes, good times. And I believe we're getting into War of the Bounty Hunters very soon, which if you guys are not keeping up on War of the Bounty Hunters, Zoe, are you keeping up on War of the Bounty Hunters?
no.
Okay. Let me just tell you, there's like one panel, like, I mean, the Lando stuff that's been coming out of Star Wars recently has been wonderful, but there's a panel where Lando just goes, beat his ass, Chewbacca. So I am
I need to.
very happy with War
I'm
of the Bounty
behind on
Hunters.
so many other comics.
Yeah. Go look into that, and
And books.
you know who Boba Fett is, you know who Luke Skywalker is, you know how Han Solo is. You don't have to pick up anything except those 5 issues if you don't want to.
Is it
But
only
if you read the 5 issues of War of the Bounty Hunters is like that whole story. But there's like all the other lines connect to it. So like if you read Vader's line, you hear like what he's doing the whole time. And some of it overlaps quite a bit. But if you really just want to dive into war, you can read those 5 issues and you'll get it.
Oh, I was gonna say I'll go into the comic store tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, I mean, but I'm on duty this weekend, so never mind.
Dope. Have them send it to the mailroom. Have them send your comics to the mailroom, man.
Maybe. I also do the Star Wars Geek Girl review Facebook page, Star Wars Geek Girl, Twitter and Instagram at SWGeekGirl, StarWarsGeekGirl.com, monthly poll, quizzes on Wednesdays, blog articles on Fridays. I've pretty consistently been doing book reviews on Mondays too. I've been managing to read books. So
Hey, books. What have you read lately?
well, I recently reread Tarkin and A New Dawn because I got the Rise of the Empire book to read the short stories. And I was like, there's whole other books in here. So I'll just reread them while I have them. And then this past couple of days, I reread From a Certain Point of View. And now I'm going to read From a Certain Point of View, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. From a Certain Point of View, the story, I love that story about the dewback and the stormtrooper. That character shows up in one of the War of the Bounty Hunters
really
books. Yeah, like, but this is like after, well after, this is like 4 years later, right?
Yeah.
So like now you can see like him just like chilling, like he's got a whole new persona on Tatooine. He's got a hat and he just rocks around with his dewback. Like, so it was really cool to see. Sardis Ramson, I think his name is. Yeah. Daniel Jose Elder, of course.
I haven't read the Empire Strikes Back one yet, but I love the ones from the first one so much. I read the one from Brea's perspective.
Yeah.
Cried,
Eclipse.
and then I cried, and then that night I was doing Revenge of the Sith movie night with residents. And at the end, Brea shows up, and I was like, "Oh
no!" Yeah. What else? There is. Are you keeping up on High Republic stuff?
I kept up the first time the books came out.
You should at least read The Rising Storm as soon as possible because it is ridiculously good.
It's on my list. I
tell you what, when you do that,
whole Thrawn, both trilogies to prep for the third, sixth one, whatever. Third one of that second trilogy.
Yeah. If you read Rising Storm, call me on your show and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
I had to redo my reading schedule because Queen's Hope got delayed.
Yeah.
So I think Rising Storm got bumped up a little bit.
Cool. Excellent. Ronin comes out next week.
It does. That's my next one. If it comes sometime.
It's coming out next week. So far, so good.
It's pre-ordered.
Yay. And then after that is that third Thrawn book. Or sixth Thrawn book, depending on how you look at it. Or 9th or 10th or 11th Thrawn book, depending on how you look at it.
It's true. I have on my schedule to read the 5 preceding ones up to when that one comes out, and then read that one. So read one a week, and I'll be there.
Ooh, some of those books are a little heavy.
I can do it.
Okay.
I read 100 pages a day from a certain point of view.
Ooh. Yeah, but a certain point of view moves fast. At least to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find the time. I'll read during class. No, I won't. That was a lie. I didn't say that.
That never happens. Nobody does it.
No. I always am 100% focused in my Zoom class. never doing anything else.
Yeah. As
All
you should be.
attention.
Why would anybody think you aren't?
class. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up there, I think. Thank you so much for being on the show and talking about Lego Star Wars with me. Super fun.
Yes.
I was Zoe.
I was Lizzie's father.
Thank you for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.